You are now listening to For All Nerds Show, a podcast about geek and pop culture from the perspective of people of color. For All Nerds is hosted by DJ Ben Amin and Tatiana Keene Jones. For All Nerds Show is a member of the Loudspeakers Network, where we always say rest in peace to our founder, Combat Jack.
For All Nerds Show is powered by our listeners. Everything we do, from our podcasts, live events, our website, are all independently funded. Please continue to support us through our Patreon page at patreon.com/forallnerds.
Welcome to the Fan Bros, the show where the bros are fans. Doodle.
And what's up, y'all? And welcome to this very special episode of the For All Nerds Show. The voice of Urban Geek, the podcast where we discuss geek and pop culture from the perspective of people of color. And as always, back in the captain's chair, it's your boy, DJ Ben Amin, a.k.a. Chris Ragnarok, Big Dick Grayson Energy, Premium Peter Parker, Doctor Who's Mans is this, Master Splinter Cell, keep that same inner John when you see me, the anti-trife equation, here in the spaceship tonight. And as always, I'm joined by my co-host, not so judging tonight, co-host.
No, it's Tatiana King, a.k.a. the Ting of the North, a.k.a. Flex Luthor, a.k.a. Little Vision Vert, a.k.a. Doc Aki, a.k.a. the coldest winter soldier ever, T'Challa Bread, A.R. Lord, the Book of Ashanti, the Life and Times of Sharon Carter, Tatiana Kang the Conqueror. And I should probably play King the Conqueror, considering everything. But
About that.
we're back, Ben Amin.
That's some geek and pop culture we haven't really discussed yet.
And I don't want to.
Every black person in the world is like, you were the chosen one. You were supposed to bring balance to the force.
OJ did it.
Oh, shit. I mean, whoa, there's levels to this shit,
I was very purposeful in saying that. So
God.
there is no
Yikes.
mistakes here, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, maybe he's still in a judgmental mood. Well, we are back. It is For All Nerds Show. Thank you, as always, for joining us here. We love each and every one of you. We have a very big show tonight because we have a very big special guest. But also, we're taking it back in time like this is an old school episode. This is our 10th anniversary this year. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, clap it up. We just celebrated our 10th anniversary on Twitter the other day. I saw that. This is the For All Nerds Show, formerly known as the other show that, shall not be named, has been around for 10 years.
That shit's crazy to me, bro.
Crazy to me too, fam. You know what I mean? We have grown up on this show. Y'all have grown up with us. We have raised people, all that different stuff. It's insane.
I mean, I was fresh out of Howard, just love. It's like a whole nother world. Now look at us, right?
Yeah.
Lots of dreams fulfilled, lots of dreams loading. It's been a pleasure and it's been an honor. I say that like we're done, but we're not. But
Yeah.
it's been. I mean, we
that would
really,
be like a third time that we've talked about quitting.
we've pseudo quit, right?
Yeah.
But no, it doesn't. It kind of doesn't feel that long, and it also feels that long, but in the way that we've had such a huge journey, right? We've had so many experiences and so many people we've met and so many opportunities and just things that would have never occurred for us had we not done this podcast, right? And had we not continued to do this podcast. And all the doors and the windows to the walls that have opened up for us, it's been phenomenal. And it's just there's so much more in store. And it's just waiting for us to walk through, right?
Mm-hmm. And as always, what we do on this show, shout out to the one and only Reggie Osei, also known as Combat Jack, the
Pod
legend,
Father.
the Pod Father, the one and only. If you didn't know, now you know. Thank you very much for setting us on this journey, for incorporating us, for bringing us into existence. And we
Thank
continue to
you.
carry on and dream those dreams and raise those bars. You know what I mean?
Always. Since we're speaking about our loved ones that has passed, I also want to say happy birthday to Deadly Diva, aka Mia
Oh,
Stewart.
man.
Her birthday, and it depends on when you hear this, but her birthday is this week. And I think she passed in 2018. I'm not sure at this point, but I have it on my calendar every year for her birthday, so I always celebrate it. She was also a huge part of ForAllNerds. I mean, to the end, right?
To the end.
Huge part of our success.
Outlaw Bars,
our anime focused podcast. Huge part of our success. Huge part of our expansion. Huge part of just pushing us. She was always on point, like always about the fam, always about the team, just doing whatever was necessary to make sure that we was winning at all times.
Man, and just such a good person, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like those type of people, oh man, just come into our lives. And it's funny too that this is our 10th anniversary, because I was thinking about you the other day, how like when I first put the call out, and I was like, it was me and Chico Leo when we first started the show, the Chico Leo, of course. And I was like, we did 1 or 2 episodes, maybe. I think 1, honestly. And I was like, yo, ain't no way I'm sitting here. Because it was me, him, Combat Jack. We had Sean Price, rest in peace
Joe
to the God.
You guys had 50 niggas on the fucking show.
No, Joe never made it to the show. Joe,
he said you guys always say he was there.
No, we
wasn't
interviewed
just
Joe.
Blaze on it.
We interviewed Joe to be on the show, and Joe was like, "Y'all got 50 niggas on the show. Ain't no way I'm coming on the show."
Wasn't just Blaze and all these other people.
No. Before you and Jamie came through, it was just me, Chico, and Combat.
Okay.
And Sean Price. And the original.
Let's say Sean.
Yeah, there's an original Lost episode that to this day is lost with Sean Price. Sadly, I wish I had it. I wish I could give it to y'all, but I don't. And that had Sean Price on it, me, Combat. And I don't even think Chico was there yet. Then we brought Chico in because we interviewed Chico and Joe. And Joe was like, nah, I'm good. And Chico was like, I'm down. And so it was me, Chico, and Combat. And I was like, ain't no way. Ain't no way.
No way.
Ain't no way. And so I put out the call on Twitter, and Tatiana, who was already following me, I was already following her. And Chico actually was like, yo, we should get this woman, Tatiana King. She knows all her shit about
Geek culture and shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so you responded like, yeah, I'm down. Jamie came through, and that was the original Fantastic Four. You know what I mean? And then...
I still got that picture with the great from Prodigy. Remember our first episode?
That was y'all first episode?
That was our first episode.
That's so crazy. I threw y'all right into the fire. Like, deal with this shit.
That's how it usually is. Let's go.
That is crazy. I didn't realize that was y'all first episode.
That was very first episode. First
Oh,
episode.
man. I remember when y'all came through, and I was like, yeah, we're talking to Prodigy tonight. And I remember Jamie was like, what? Like...
It was very like, okay.
Oh, that's crazy. And y'all can listen to that one. That is not a lost episode.
No.
Another God lost, rest in peace to Prodigy of Mobb Deep, a legend, who is on Tatiana's very first episode. Got to speak to a living, well, now past legend,
Yeah, when I think about it, I was like, I felt stupid asking him questions. I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to ask this man? Like, he's probably looking at me like, this stupid kid. Like, what am I supposed to be saying to him? But, it worked out.
Man, he had a great time.
He had a great time. He was talking about aliens and shit. But, like, I just felt like I was asking him the wrong things. Like, I'm not part of this. I'm not doing this right. But
that's
I was
hilarious.
Like, they ain't got to know this. I'm just going to act like I know what I'm doing. So.
That's all that matters, Act like you've been there before.
Right.
And, since we're going to act like we've been here before, the name of this episode is Marvel versus DC versus Wu-Tang, which you will soon understand.
Wu-Tang
one of those
love
things.
The kids.
It's not like the other. Wu-Tang is forever and Wu-Tang is for the kids. But one of those things is not like, they're actually all similarly related. And, it was a big day this week.
Yeah.
Yesterday this week was a big day in entertainment as Marvel and DC both of them decided to release trailers.
Yeah. Big day for Issa Rae as well.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, she's in Spider-Woman.
She's Spider-Woman in that. Well, it's a big day for her today because they also released the details about the trailer and the photo posters for Barbie, the Greta
Oh,
Gerwig
yeah, and she's
movie.
also in that.
And
Issa's
she's
also
President
in Barbie.
Barbie.
Nice. Very nice.
Mhm.
Congratulations. But yes, we do I know they dropped a teaser trailer for Barbie. We ain't got that. We're waiting on the full one, you know. Super Mario Bros. Is getting incredible reviews.
Shout out to Charles Pulliam Moore from IO9, or actually The Verge now.
Yeah, The Verge.
He said he was shocked
Shocked.
how good, and Charles is one of the most level-headed people, number one, but also critics that I know, and he will tell it like it is. And generally, like, between him, myself, and Ben, I mean, we're usually kind of on the same wavelength when it comes to these reviews. And
Every
for him
time.
to be like, yeah, literally every time. So, like, for him to be like, yo, that was like undeniably good. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
I'm like
excited.
super hyped.
Like,
super hyped.
You know, I wasn't really hyped about all the voice acting talent. I'm not gonna say the names, but you know, it's still Mario, and it's like if they're trying to be better, like how they've done like with this Sonic movies and things like that, then, you know, I could see that working. But apparently it's working.
Apparently it's working. And I mean, that's shocking because now it seems like we're going to have 3 incredible animated movies so far this year, because I still go on record by saying Puss in Boots: The Last Wish.
I got to see it because it's on streaming now, right?
Yeah, I rented it on Amazon. You know, it was worth all $3.
That's DreamWorks, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm not a big DreamWorks fan, but
Shrek?
dude, like,
I mean, that's where it's
never gave a damn, honestly. I know I'm gonna get roasted. I like the first one. I think I was kind of tired of Mike Myers stuff, and I mean, Eddie Murphy is Eddie Murphy. You know, it's like I liked it, you know, but it ain't something I'd be like, let me go watch Shrek again. Hell no. Ain't no way.
I've seen Shrek like 50 times.
Yeah,
the original.
I've always been a Pixar, you know, Toy Story. I've seen a million times. All the Toy Stories.
Yeah, Pixar. But DreamWorks be coming up like How to Train Your Dragon. DreamWorks be on the come.
Yeah, I never got into those.
What?
It's the animation style and the way their faces look in DreamWorks.
Oh, no.
You know,
you gotta give it a chance.
I never liked it, though. I can't.
You know what's real good? Speaking of How to Train Your Dragon, there's this fucking dragon show on Hulu that's in the same universe as How to Train Your Dragon. It's actually good as fuck. You need to watch it. I forgot the name of it, but I'm a probably remember in just a minute.
Do they still got them funny looking faces?
Yes, Ben. I mean, that's just how DreamWorks do it, okay? But
I know. Well, look, I could never deal, dog. I'm not gonna lie. Them funny looking faces threw me off every time. And so Puss in Boots felt like they took some of the animators from Spider-Verse, or they learned some of them styles, because they are doing all those different styles with frame rates and different styles of animation in the same shot. And Puss in Boots is just on another level, yo. That's one of my favorite films of the year.
I gotta see that.
Yeah.
And it's the Dragons, the 9 Realms.
Right,
that show's actually pretty damn good. Like, when you catch yourself like, and this is supposed to, it's not just because it's animation, because I don't think inherently animation is not kid stuff, right?
No.
But this is targeted specifically towards kids, but it's actually a really compelling story, and you kind of get into it. So I've caught myself many a times, like, mouth open, like, watching the story. So it's actually pretty good.
Nigga, Puss in Boots is so damn adult, it's out of control.
That
shit is one of the darkest, most real life films I've ever seen.
Yeah, but Shrek had that stuff too, and I mean, like, it started getting annoying after, you know, I think it was like 3 movies or whatever, or 2 movies, but. Point is, you gotta, you know, Pixar is probably king, but you also gotta give it up for DreamWorks. They be coming with some fire.
Yeah, no, and this was so bad that when I saw that Pixar got a new trailer for Elemental, when I saw the trailer for Elemental, I was like, y'all gotta step it up. Like, this might be great, but the trailer did nothing for me, because I just finished watching Puss in Boots, and it was so silly with animation and style and just flair, and I was like, this Elementals ain't doing it. Which is why we are not, you know, watching that tonight. As we, you know, let's get into this, because we have a really big show. Like I said, we got DC versus Marvel versus Wu-Tang. Julian Elijah Martinez is joining us.
Yo.
But first, we got to get into these trailers. We got the Blue Beetle trailer dropping from DC, and the Secret Invasion trailer dropping on Disney Plus from Marvel. So, because we're haters.
It's been 3 things. Wow, there has been a lot. dropping
What's
at
that?
the same time. I forgot about Secret Invasion.
I know.
Damn. And when I say I forgot, not because it wasn't fire, it's just that literally all these shows been dropping back to back to back.
Back to back to back. So we are going to review or watch, give you all a little, reaction, all that good stuff. First to the Blue Beetle trailer from Disney, starring my mans from Cobra Kai.
Excuse me, Mr. Reyes? You finished scraping the gum off that lounger or what?
Everything right now feels so out of reach.
You always land on your feet, bro. You're Jaime.
They don't get out much.
I just wanna rock.
Jenny?
Guard that, that's my wife. But do not open it.
You went in to get us jobs, and all you brought back was a hamburger?
Okay, I don't think it's a burger.
You haven't looked?
What the hell is that?
How did you get it to do that?
I think he likes me.
Jaime.
This ain't what you want. This ain't what you want. This ain't what you want. What the?
Host acquired.
Who said that? It's okay, it's gonna be okay! Oh, space.
Re-entry systems ready.
Wait, no!
This ain't what you want. This ain't what you want. This ain't what you want.
Oh. What is going on?
I just wanna rock.
It's called the Scarab. It's some kind of world-destroying weapon. It's designed to protect its host.
This ain't what you want.
Sometimes it does what you want, and sometimes it doesn't.
Body out of here.
I think I cut a bus in half.
The Scarab chose you, but it belongs to me.
That low you feel for your family makes you weak.
I just wanna rock. You gon' kill my vibe, stand on my money, don't lose my side.
The universe has sent you a gift, and you have to figure out what you're gonna do with it.
That's my mind. 1, 2, 3, 4, throw up the 5.
Whatever you can imagine, I can create.
Let's party.
Nice choice.
I just wanna rock.
It's like Batman stuff.
Batman's a fascist.
I just wanna rock.
Somebody's been listening to the show.
Shouts to Julian Elijah Martinez.
Yes.
Word for word, bar for bar. I loved it. I had said on Twitter that I felt like it was a fresh move. It's a fresh take for the DCU. Now we're no longer the DCEU, but the DCU. And the go forward plan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we're getting out of the whole everything got to be dark. We're getting out of the whole everything got to be fucking depressing. And we're getting more into the, okay, let's tell some compelling stories with, and yes, of course, younger characters, but also new characters. This is not, even though we're going to get it anyway, this is not the 50th Superman or Batman film. This is Blue Beetle, which, again, I'm not the biggest DC fan or DC comic book head, but I don't think that's the top tier when it comes to
Far from it.
these types. You know what I'm saying? And similarly, what happened in MCU where they took a character where it's not exactly top tier, but they made it a top tier. And I can see them doing this with the Blue Beetle character.
Yep. Okay. I had some reservations because I am a fan of the Blue Beetle character, surprisingly.
You talked a lot about that over the years, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people who watch Young Justice will know him from that show. He was a prominent part. His whole lore and enemies, everything about him plays a prominent part in Young Justice. That's how I really got to know him. I think he was actually introduced on the show before he came to the comics. I'm not 100% sure.
That's my entry point for Blue Beetle from Young Justice. But even then, it's still limited.
And then I also go back with the second Blue Beetle, who there's a lot of references in the trailer, right? Jamie, who is the new Blue Beetle, goes to work at Cord Industries, which is owned by Ted Cord, who is the first Blue Beetle or the second Blue Beetle, right? And even the ship you see with the big big yellow eyes, the blue ship is his ship. That's not related to the new Blue Beetle. And the difference is, there's big differences. The original Blue Beetle is a billionaire. He's kind of like Batman, but not so much of a fascist, obviously. He's more of a good Batman, right? And then the new
Oxymoron.
dude, yeah. Well, the new one is a young kid who gets this alien scarab attached to him, as we see in the trailer.
Yes.
That grows into this suit of armor, and it's related to a bunch of other alien scarab type things and aliens who wear these suits.
Yeah. It's giving
Guyver.
what you say?
Guyver. Isn't it Guyver? Guyver? The anime? I don't know. I always see it.
You're talking about okay, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of different types of characters and stories it's giving me, right? It's giving me a little bit of Venom symbiote. It's giving me Iron Man. It's giving me Green Lantern. It's giving me a little bit of Spider-Man in there, right?
Yep.
Just because bugs, right?
Yeah.
But like
because of the young hero who's learning everything.
But I also like that this is a Latino focused character, and I don't know if he's always like you said, different people could be Beatles, but I don't know if the main one was a Latino. Okay.
This always has been a Mexican character.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, always has been. Yeah.
Or Latinx rather. So
no, he's definitely Mexican.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There ain't no
Mexican.
confusion.
Okay.
Yeah. No, this man, it really takes place in El Paso.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
But no, I like seeing all of that, right? And like I said, I think this is a cool, fresh take for DC and to give you something fun, right? Like my favorite parts of the trailer were him cutting the fucking bus in half and being genuinely bewildered about what the fuck is happening. Now, here's the thing, and that's why I think I appreciate this trailer. I know someone had said, they're holding their reservations because DC can make really good trailers, but then you see the movie and it's shite.
Oof. Man, that Man of Steel trailer is still so good.
Yeah, and that may or may not be true to varying degrees.
I still like Man of Steel too, though.
I still like Man of Steel. I don't care what anybody says.
I was rewatching that shit the other day, and when Superman and the Kryptonians are fighting in the middle of town, dog, that shit is so lit.
Yeah. Now, whether or not that is 100% true that all the trailers, like the actual movies pale in comparison to trailers, I just think for me, I got genuine reaction out of it. Like, because this could go off real corny real fast, right? And I didn't get corny whatsoever from the trailers, especially, and I use that scene about the bus because it's like, you can feel like this boy is like, what the fuck is going on?
He puts his hand over his mouth.
Right, and that was funny to me because that's all even lightweight Deadpool stuff, right? Like something is happening around you and you can't do shit about it. And I fuck with that. And then to me, it was a call to The Exorcist where he's being pulled up into the ceiling and, getting covered up with all this, beetle transformation or whatever. So it just looked genuine. And I think that's why I gravitated towards liking this and being like excited for the film to come out. Cause it seems like they're actually acting, you know what I mean? Like they're doing a good job. There's potentially well-written stuff. We will see what happens when it actually comes out.
Yes. And I'm also excited for a few reasons because, like I said, I'm a fan of her from Young Justice. From what I understand, the villains in the film are going to be Ted's Cord's sister, Victoria Cord, and this other dude, the Invincible Man or some shit. I have no idea. Never heard of this cat before in my life. And that was kind of disappointing for me, but I'm sure they're going to get into this maybe in a second film or something. But in Young Justice, it's, his enemies are more connected to the suit. It's people coming back for the suit. So it's these aliens, and one in particular who wears a suit, but he's an alien underneath it, and his name is the Black Beetle because obviously his suit's all black. And his voice is by Victor Grievous. I'm not sure you pronounce that shit. Grievous. He's a famous voice actor. He's done everything. But my man as Black Beetle is just one of the greatest performances of all time to me. He calls everybody meat bags and other shit. He's like, humans are meat bags. And it's just this amazing voice. And I was really just hoping to see the character because he just does not give a shit about everyone. He just thinks everyone is beneath him. And he was so ill and arrogant, but then also so confident and so, well-versed in the suit when he fought Blue Beetle all the time, he was just serving him because he knew how to do all the tricks with the suit, and Blue Beetle's still learning it. But I'm hoping, why I've hoped for a second film is because they're tying this in to the original Blue Beetle as well. And James Gunn is doing a Booster Gold film. And Booster Gold and Blue Beetle were partners at one point. I mean, that's their bid partnership, one of the bid partnerships in DC, Blue and Gold, Blue Beetle and Booster Gold. And Booster Gold comes from the future, so people are saying maybe in an end credit scene or something, Booster Gold shows up looking for Blue Beetle. Because I don't know if Ted Kord is in this at all. I think it's a lot of references to him, but I'm not sure, he's not in the trailer. They haven't announced anyone playing him, so I don't know if he's even in the film. So maybe Booster shows up, and then that connects to the Booster Gold film, and then Blue Beetle does well, and we get a second film with a Mexican superhero because, that would be nice. Yeah.
We shall see. But yeah, I'm feeling it.
It.
What else we got?
Now, we also have the trailer from Marvel's Secret Invasion, which drops June 21st, if I'm not mistaken, on Disney+. This is the first trailer from it. As someone on Twitter informed us, this is not the actor who was in Dungeons and Dragons. There are two different black actors right now.
And someone said that's probably been on me who commented, "You lying?" So it's not Regé Jean Page.
No, it's not
him.
in this. No,
it's not. It is, and it's not. What's the other guy? No, it's not him. You thought it was him? They don't look alike, Ben. I mean,
fam, when that man posted them pictures together, if they don't do a buddy cop movie or a brothers movie at some point,
maybe
or
like a cousins movie, but they don't look.
Brothers.
I knew immediately that wasn't Bridgerton. So as you call him, so.
Well, why wasn't I corrected on the show? You just don't let me run through. Because I said that on the show. I was like, yo, Bridgerton's going to be in Secret Invasion.
I don't remember that happening. I might have been laughing about something, but I don't remember you saying that.
You was too busy raking Dungeons and Dragons through the coals.
That's probably what happened. I was probably so weirded out by what the fuck I saw. But I am, like I said, y'all, I'm going to see it again. So.
You got to. But back to this trailer, we have the Secret Invasion trailer from Marvel dropping June 21st on Disney+. Kobe Smulders, who plays Agent Maria Hill, has talked about how this series is a bunch of normal people up against, superpowered or aliens or whatever. Like, there aren't any real powered heroes on the hero side. So that should be interesting. This is kind of a first for Marvel, and let's see the trailer and then we'll talk about it afterwards.
Well, Hawkeye, I mean, he got skills, but he ain't got no powers.
True,
Hawkeye stuff.
But he was also fighting goons.
And what the fuck these niggas fighting? They fighting aliens.
Niggas, Skrulls, nigga. These niggas ain't goons. Well, watch this trailer. These niggas ain't just goons, nigga. These niggas got powers.
Fury. Since you've been gone, things have gotten much worse. How do you think I came back?
You're in no shape for this fight that lies before us, old friend.
This is personal.
Very few of us know about the wars fought in the shadows that have raged on this planet. Do you feel responsible?
Where are the Avengers? This war is one I have to fight alone. Most wanted man on the planet.
You don't know what they have planned for you.
The great Nick Fury.
we need to put that out. Never since I can remember.
Your Bridgerton's cousin, his name is Kingsley Ben-Adir.
Okay.
And
shout out to him.
That was Emilia Clarke?
Yes, it is.
That is
Daenerys.
Danny
Targaryen up in this hoe. Danny Targaryen up in this hoe. This is some of the best actors, all around that Marvel's had in a production. Like straight up.
We saw Everett Ross. He's back.
Yep.
James Rhodes. He's back.
Who's Shorty in the red?
Which one? The one that was like, friend?
Yes.
Olivia Colman.
Yeah, she's an incredible actress. Who is she playing? Have they identified her?
Sonya Fallsworth.
No idea. Oh, Fallsworth?
Fallsworth.
Oh, that's Union Jack. She's related to the Union Jack. Union Jack is a character. The Fallsworth family is like they go back to World War II and stuff. They're British and
so related to Captain Britain type shit.
No, Captain Britain is another family. Captain Britain is the Braddocks.
Well, yeah. Okay,
yeah,
okay. But I mean, do they have? They was fucking with each other? Not really.
I'm sure they've had stories where they've crossed over at some point, but more so, Union Jack is a whole nother character. Union Jack was like the Britain's answer to Captain America. He has a dope.
That's why I was thinking Captain Britain. But.
Yeah, well, Captain Britain is like the magical answer to I don't know what we got in America because we ain't got no magic. Captain Britain's more like a modern day King Arthur. That's who he's supposed to represent. Sword and all that type of stuff. And some magic. Okay. While Union Jack is the dude, he got the dope Union Jack suit. You got to Google him or we'll get him up on the screen. But my man had the pistol by the side and he put in work. And he didn't have no super soldier serum or nothing. He was just a dude, putting in work. And so...
a nigga from the ends, yeah?
Yeah, and then his son or nephew carried on, in the modern era and became Union Jack. I'm not sure who Sonya is, but that's a dope. Yeah, I love the Marvel pulling in all this different shit.
Valentina's back.
Yep,
Julia Louis-Dreyfus, a bunch of other people. Yeah, you said it. This is definitely fills in the vein of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but with higher stakes.
Yes.
I know you didn't really fuck with the what was the terrorist group name? The organization.
Oh, those are my niggas. What are you talking about?
There was a time when you were like they were irrelevant. You were like the Flag Smashers ain't doing shit about.
I mean, they wasn't. They got blown up in the truck.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why I was like higher stakes because
their reign was shorter than fucking Age of Ultron.
But
this is out of here.
This is that kind of Jason Bourne type thriller energy to me. And so, and I like that, I like where, and it's just interesting because it's always, like, especially with all this time that's gone by, it seems like Marvel has taken on more of the persona of the things that we would get mad at DC about being too dark. Well, Marvel's starting to kind of go in a darker direction, but they still have relevant story. And then now DC is coming up with stuff that's a little bit more just brighter and story, more fun and things like that. So we're kind of seeing that switch off happen, which I think it works, right? It works for certain stories. It works for certain audiences. And the fact that this is going to be on Disney Plus means they're going to have more runway to actually give you more information, right, about what's going on. And then obviously this is going to lead into the next phase of Marvel films. Do we know how many episodes it's going to be?
I think I heard 6 or 9.
Oh, damn, that's it?
Yeah, I know, right?
Well, let me not say that's it because if it's well written, that's all you need, right?
That's all you need. That's all you need. 6 would be great. If it's, 45 minutes to an hour per episode, well written, that's all I need.
You think it's going to be an hour per episode? It better be.
45 to an hour. It's a drama,
6 episodes confirmed.
Yeah, well, 45 to an hour, probably. Okay. Yeah, it's a drama. They're going to lean towards that side of things. Yeah. It's not going to be 30 minutes, I doubt. Yeah. I'm super hyped. A lot of people know the Secret Invasion storyline from the comics. This will obviously be radically different because the Secret Invasion from the comics involved the Skrulls replacing a bunch of heroes, and they've been there for years. Now, this is also dealing with the fact that Samuel has talked about how this series is dealing with why Nick left, which was the deaths of everyone, all like Tony, Black Widow, these people dying. And so he was like, I got to get out of here. I can't deal with this shit no more.
Well, technically in MCU, having the Skrulls been there for years as well.
Yes.
Because of Miss Captain Marvel. Yeah, the Captain Marvel film. When they, like,
from the 90s.
Yeah.
And then in the 90s, Fury promised to find them a new world. Okay. But what happened with that? And that's what they're saying. Maybe the promises didn't go as kept.
Right.
So now there's a bunch of Skrulls still on Earth who have infiltrated since the 90s.
Right.
And now they're coming out.
And the MCU timeline is like 2025 or some shit like that now, right?
So they've been there.
Yeah.
For a good time. Families, all that type of shit. You know, probably kids with humans. Who knows what's going on at this point. So, So I'm hype. I love the score of that trailer, you know, because that really gave it that...
the gravitas, the dramatic.
Yeah. And Marvel knows how to, you know, just like DC, but Marvel really knows how to put together a trailer. You know, that shit got me super hype. Something else I wanted to mention about this joint.
We gonna get Sam L. Sam, I'm too old to do this shit.
Yo, Sam with the thick beard. Sam with the thick beard had me rolling. That was crazy. That shot of him with the thick beard when he had the hat off and his glasses on. Yeah. Looking like a professor at Howard. That right there.
African American studies.
Look, we had Bill Duke as one of our professors when I was there, so you know it happens, dog. I mean, Felicia Rashad up there right now, right?
Right.
Yeah. So Samuel might be there one day. You never know. You never know.
You never know. But yeah, I you know, we're batting 2 for 2 right now. Like this was a good trailer. I think I mentioned that this was I thought it was Quantumania. I was wrong. This is one of the most important pieces of the next phase of the MCU. So I'm really excited for it.
So you thought it was and you were wrong. I'm just as
I mean, am I wrong in saying that? No.
God damn it. No. That shit could have been in
We learned nothing
at all. No, what I wanted to say was that you were talking about how like the switch over to the darker, and I also think it's that Marvel is now at the point where they've done so much that they can just do random different things, you know. And DC is still like trying to figure out what to do, and so they're like, "Let's do Iron Man," you know.
Basically, like
with a Mexican, you know,
and it's not hate. It's like
it's not hate, but come on, that hoe was Iron Man to the fullest.
Dr. Fate.
That was the other problem I even had with the trailer. The voice of the Blue Beetle suit in Justice League is much more masculine than it is feminine.
It is.
And that felt too Tony Stark. Yeah, it felt too Tony Stark to me to have a woman as the voice.
But why that feel too Tony? I mean, well, that's okay. But Jarvis was like the last voice that you.
True.
Jarvis is the most. What's the word I'm trying to? Most prominent.
Yeah,
Thank you.
So I guess they wanted to go away from Jarvis.
Yeah, you heard like the Pepper Potts-esque voice, but then it became Jarvis's voice like prominently.
But then Jarvis got ate up and became Vision, and then it became...
Yeah. But when I think of the voice in Iron Man 2, I only think of Jarvis's voice. I don't think of Pepper.
I think of a woman more because of Spider-Man when he had the woman in his suit, you know, and so it was like there was a lot of
Scottish lady sound.
But back to Secret Invasion, I think Marvel is just now at the point where they can just do all these various different type of things. I mean, they did it already with Winter Soldier, but now they can really lean into it and be like, because I don't think we're going to see Rhodey in his suit. I hope we don't, you know?
We don't need to.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
We're gonna have Armor Wars. Like
that's coming.
We're gonna see him in a minute. So we did.
So I hope that they keep this. Now, I don't want to say grounded. I hate using that phrase, but I just hope they keep it where the protagonists at least don't have superpowers.
Yeah. Is this supposed to follow supposed to follow the current timeline? So like this comes right after the events of.
People pointed out things in the trailer, like the newspaper is talking about the Battle of New York, which is the first Avengers film. The French newspaper that drops on the trailer says Le Battle de New York. So that's the first Avengers. The Battle of New York is the first one.
So they going backwards.
I remember these dudes been here, so they got to show you how long they've been here, what they've been doing, all that stuff. So, and then remember the blip happened, so that's probably a big thing to them where they're like, you know, that probably fucked them up, so they had to show you that. No, that wasn't in this. In the Daredevil, there's a shot of some blip action, so that might take place in the blip. But they're definitely going to show you what the Skrulls have been up to over this whole time.
You mean She-Hulk where Daredevil popped up?
No, in the new.
Oh, Daredevil. The new joint. Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's some people have gotten set shots where something was happening during the blip.
You fucking spies, y'all be out there with the pictures.
They be out there. So. That's for our secret nation. I mean, secret invasion, not secret nation. I mean, it is a secret nation as well, right? You know what I mean? Fear of a Green Planet, folks.
Wu-Tang and American drama. Secret Nation.
Now on Hulu.
Now on Hulu Plus.
But that is our trailer review of Secret Invasion coming June 21st on Disney Plus. Thank you very much for joining us for that. And stick around because we now have the one and only Julian Elijah Martinez, Divine on Wu-Tang and American Saga, now on Hulu, joining us right after this.
Yo, it's your boy Farrell Monch. I'm tuned in to For All Nerds.
What's up, everyone? It's your girl, Fantastic Frankie. I'm listening to For All Nerds.
What's up? This is E-Man, and I'm listening to For All Nerds.
Peace and elevation, everybody. My name is Crown, and you are now listening to For All Nerds.
What's up, everybody? This is Troy Jeffrey Young, and you're watching For All Nerds.
And what's up, y'all, and welcome back to this very extremely special episode of the For All Nerds show. And as always, we are bringing you that heat, and tonight is no different because we are welcoming, this is his second time on the show, Julian Elijah Martinez, a star of stage and screen, a long-time For All Nerds familiar. Probably know him as Divine, the manager of the Wu-Tang Clan on Wu-Tang, an American drama in its final season. Now
American Saga.
American Saga. Well, it's American Saga and American drama, boy, because there's a lot of drama on that show. So, welcome Mr. Martinez back to the spaceship tonight.
Yo, what's up?
Welcome back. So happy to have you. That was purposeful when he said American drama because that shit is ridiculous. Yo.
Dramatic.
Very dramatic. Dramatization of some real life stuff, but it also is some real life hardship, right? Like hardships. It's lots of love. It's lots of drama. It's lots of anger. Like it's all the emotions. And as Ben said, like this has become critically acclaimed. It has, gotten its props. It's just due. We're here for 3 whole seasons, right? A lot of places. Right? 4, excuse me. 4. But a lot of places.
3, right?
Just 3, but 4 years.
4 years.
Sometimes it's felt like 5.
And a lot of people, a lot of properties don't even get past 1. So, we want to definitely congratulate you on that. Like that's a blessing, number 1, first and foremost, right?
Thank you.
And Ben said, like, it's been a while since you've been here, since you've talked about yourself on Wu-Tang, how you talked about how everything has changed. And we really want to know, like, how has things been since, like, the very beginning till now?
Yeah, well, between, we went through a pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
that was before pandemic.
That was before pandemic. So, yeah, it's one, the show has been a blessing. I was joking that it felt like 5 years, but it has been 4 years of my life. And Wu-Tang was literally the first big show that I ever done. So that led to Law and Order and my stint there. It's led to other opportunities, so it has been just an amazing blessing and an amazing journey. And so it's a little bittersweet, coming to the finale on Wednesday. And, me and Divine have had a couple of meetings, and this is a person who I've gotten to know and has been sitting in the back of my head. And, I've listened to his voice almost every day for 4 years. You know what I mean? The RZA had been somebody who I saw on set almost every day, so these are all people who have been a part of my life and a part of my story. And so, I actually just got done having day drinks with my mom and Marcus Callender, who plays Power. So this is, this is family, you know what I mean, in a lot of ways. Yeah.
That's what's up. How has it been on the street? Like the reception of people on the street when they see you? Do you be like, oh, that's Divine? Like, do you be getting that? Like, do people act crazy?
I get a double take because I don't have the, I don't have a fro no more.
You don't have the hair, right?
Yeah. So I get a double take, and I always get a point.
Would you get that meme, the DiCaprio meme with it, like, that's that one. That's
Exactly.
That's the guy in the thing.
Yeah. And they'll what they'll do too is if they don't quite know me like initially, they'll start listing off black shows. So they go, you the dude in Power. No, you the dude in The Wire. No, you the dude in Living Color. And I'm like, right.
Living Color.
Like, Wu-Tang?
Right.
Oh, yeah. I love you, God. I love you. So yeah, it's been a blessing.
Yeah, of course. I mean, and you've actually mentioned, and maybe this is just one of the things, but we were just curious, like with the show coming to close, like what would you consider one of your favorite memories or some of your favorite memories on the show? You mentioned you're seeing RZA like on a everyday basis almost, right? Or very frequently. Like, is there some things that have been during this process that you're going to really hold near and dear to your heart?
I think it's just been the camaraderie. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think Marcus says this all the time. I don't think you're ever going to get a show with like these amount of like young Black men all together. You know what I mean? To get, and all at a similar stage in our careers. So, there was a lot of cutting up. There was a lot of, there was some arguments too. There was some difficult conversations, but there was also a lot of laughter and a lot of fun and a lot of joy. And in a lot of ways, these are my brothers, you know what I'm saying? And so like that in and of itself, I'm really going to miss. I think like doing episode 3, doing the spoiler for folks who haven't seen episode 3, where we do like a blaxploitation episode for the ODB, a Return to the 36 Chambers album. Like that was just, we had so much fun. We may have had a little bit too much fun, according to my grandma, who was like, I don't know what y'all were doing, but but we just you know what I mean? Like just have an ability to play pretend and just, and just seeing the range of what these brothers can do, you know what I mean? Like, and really, I think this season in particular really just allowed us just to like flex and just to stretch and just to really express ourselves in a really wonderful way. You know what I mean?
Bro, when you showed up in the wig in episode 3, I almost lost my shit, dog. I was like, yo, this man looking like he's straight out, not even Shaft, straight out of the Mac, dog. You was looking like the Mac right there, like Goldie himself with the wig on, bro. I was quite impressed.
Yeah, that was the point. They wanted me to be Ron O'Neal.
You did it. You did it to a T, bro. I was like, yo, this man could play a young Ron O'Neal. They do the Ron O'Neal doc right here.
Yeah.
Like, for listeners who know when you were on here the first time, I am one of the biggest fans of Wu-Tang. Like it goes back obviously with the Wu-Tang Clan in itself. And then when the show came out, I had such high anticipation and expectations because the documentary had just dropped. That shit was incredible. And Wu-Tang means so much, to hip hop. And I was just like, yo, please let this shit be good. And then,
he's honest.
And then it was fucking great. Like I told you, I remember I was sitting on the train one day and I was just like, yo, I wish Wu-Tang could be on every day. Because I just felt like it was just one of those shows that and as it's gone on, there have been episodes. I want to ask you one, like, all right, first I'll ask you this. What was your favorite episode? It's not even I know, you had your big episode, which we'll get to, but what was your personal favorite episode of the show?
Still, my personal favorite is the episode in season 2 where we first started really getting like surreal. I think they go into like RZA's head and he's you know what I mean? And like being able to visually articulate like how a producer like selects samples and how a producer chops and screws samples, you know what I mean? Like I think for me very, very special. And still to this day, when I watch that episode, I think we were hitting something, you know what I mean? And it allowed us to do the more different episodes that we get to season 3, to allow us to do the Cuban links, allows us to do the ODB stuff, allowed us to do the liquid swords, so still to this day, I think that's my favorite. And then I also love Damani and Jaquan and Iota's episode, which was Inspector Dex and You Gods and Master Killer's episode, because it was so subtle. It was so settled and personal and about families. And ultimately, like, the Wu-Tang Clan story is a story of families. Like, they're all cousins or brothers or, first removed or best friends from down the block. And, like, you really saw that in that episode. You saw the fact that these are families that are trying to, like, despite all of the, all the drama, despite all of the money, despite all of the, like, the globe trotting things and the aesthetic of Wu-Tang, at the end of the day, these are just people who are really trying to, like, provide for their families and really trying to tell the stories of their families, so that those 2 episodes have been my favorite so far.
Yeah, no, definitely. Oh, but something's coming with the final. You got something? It's the finale. You got something?
Well, when does this drop? When does this drop?
It's gonna drop probably after the finale. Yeah.
Oh shit! Then spoiler.
Wait, don't spoil it for me.
Don't spoil him.
I ain't seen it. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. We haven't seen it, so please don't
seen it yet.
And look, this
but like dead ass, just follow our Instagram, because we stay spoiling shit on our Instagram. So. Just follow one of our Instagrams, thing. It'll be spoiled for you.
Because, like, my personal favorite was easily that RZA episode. Because just like you said, it was something when I was watching it, and I'm like, oh shit, these motherfuckers went there. And it was something as a writer and as a creator and as a DJ, as a producer, as all these things, it fucked me up so much because I was like, God damn it, somebody beat me to it. First of all, as a writer, somebody beat me to it. And not only did they beat me to it, they did it in a way where I was like, fuck, I don't know if I'd have thought of it that way. And that was brilliant. That was, like, beyond brilliant. Like, I have so much respect for that episode. But then, like, yeah, and like you said, how they started doing, like, the Jizza episode this season, when you did the whole movie about him, doing Liquid Swords, and how he was like, yo, I had to have the family together on this album. And it made me go back and listen to Liquid Swords and realize, yeah, he got everyone back together for that one. And then the Ghostface one, like, it had me in tears at the end of the episode when he's sitting there with his shorty and he plays her All That I Got Is You. And it's like, God damn that song, because it brought me right back to when that song came out and how it crushed me back then. And like she said, this is the man I fell in love with, and now the world gets to see it. So it's like you said, all these personal family moments, and then telling the story of the Wu-Tang. Like, that's another question I want to know. Like, did you grow up on Wu-Tang? Were you a fan of Wu-Tang before this?
Yeah, I mean, I think back, they'll have to go back and see what I said. So if I contradict myself, I apologize. But back in the day, it actually was so. The Dave Chappelle show was hidden right at that high school, and he first did that skit with the Wu-Tang Clan. So that was the first time I was, like, exposed to, like, what Wu-Tang was. And of course we had the shirts, like, you can go to Hot Topic and buy a Wu-Tang shirt.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And then the Boondocks episode with the blonde nigga swordsman.
Yeah. Yep.
And they had guillotines on it. Yeah. And I was like, and I'm listening to it and I'm like, what is this? And I'm like, oh, this song is fire. Oh, wait, this is who? Ghostface, Raekwon. What? And so then my best friend, burned me a copy of Cuban Links, but he forgot to give me the first song. So I thought it only started on track 2. So when Spotify, I'm listening to Spotify, and I'm like, what is this song?
He's like, what is this? It's some new stuff.
New shit. Yeah.
Is this a special edition? So really, what that was the trajectory. It really started, because we had a bit of a return to 90s hip hop in the early 2000s, especially when, like, backpack rapping was happening. There was kind of a return back to listening to that stuff, Yeah.
What, doing this project, what's something about Wu-Tang that you learned that you didn't know about before?
Oh man. One, I didn't realize, like, how much of a stranglehold they had on the markets from about, was it 92, 93 to
Yep.
97? You know what I mean? Because they were dropping hits after hits after hits after hits. So I wasn't, I wasn't aware of that. I didn't realize like how many of them there were. Didn't know.
I still don't know if I know how many. It's like 50 people, and it keeps adding more and more. Like
I know. I had it coming out of the woodworks, like, oh, this person, this person, this person. There's a great book that I read called From the Streets of Shaolin. I don't know if you read this book.
No, I read that one.
Yeah, and I read it right. I forgot the name of the person who wrote it, but it's a really great book. And what it does is it'll break down the history of Wu-Tang, but then it also goes through each and every album and dissects each and every album track by track by track.
Ooh, I gotta read that.
Yeah, it's a really, really great book, and it has a lot of information too. You know what I mean? I've been day drinking a little bit, so I would have more if I had it.
Nah, this is good. This is the Elijah we're gonna talk to, okay?
So, all right. That being said, we did know like this season you had this episode as Divine where it was centered around you. I was so happy to see it. You got your shine, everything. And in the same time, this was one of the most stressful episodes.
Stressful. Phenomenal.
Yes.
Writing and direction, and also obviously acting from you. But that was stress. And I felt it pour through the screen.
Oh, that's great. Great. That was when I was speaking to the director, she really, really wanted to emphasize that. So the way that it's shot, especially so what they did is they struck a camera on my body, so that way
a GoPro situation.
So we can really narrow in. They really want to make it very claustrophobic. A lot of the shots are like close in or at angles, you know what I mean? So it was the whole point of that episode was really try to ratchet up the stress as much as they can. Yeah.
When did you first find out that there would be an episode around Divine?
They told me, well, RZA had told me since season 1. He's like, "Oh, I got something for you. I got something for you." And then season 2 came along, and I was like, where is it?
Where's that
show about to end, RZA? I don't know if you know, but there ain't no 4th season.
But they had also at the top of the season. I sat down with Divine. He talked to me a little bit about with the trajectory they were going, and then RZA also sat down with all of us and told all of us that this season we're really going to try to give everybody an opportunity. You know what I mean? 'Cause they wanted to kind of send us off with something that we as actors had within our background. So everybody gets a spotlight at one point in time, which is also a very serendipitous to what they did as a group. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now, that was really perfect because, you got your episode. Power gets his with the Wu Wear, everything they're going through, and then how they did each of the albums, and then we're ending on Wu-Tang Forever, and I just thought that was so perfect because I was like a heavy fan. I was around. I was getting all those albums as they came out, and it was like you said, it was a crazy time. I remember when they announced the name Wu-Tang Forever, and I was like, oh shit, like that's some shit. I remember telling my boys like, yo, that's some shit. Like they did this run, and now they're coming back with Wu-Tang Forever. Like they're that's word is power. Like Wu-Tang is forever. And I was like, yo, that's crazy that they got this double album, and then Triumph came out. And you hear this sound, and it's like, what the flying fuck? This is Wu-Tang Forever type shit.
Right.
So, yeah, go ahead.
I was on TikTok, and this young French producer had a Wu-Tang shirt on and had 15 million followers. So and 15 million likes or whatever. You know what I mean? So it really is forever. I mean, Wu-Tang at this point.
Fam, I don't know if I got the chance to tell you about this. My Uncle Charles, my favorite uncle, right? I get so much stuff from this dude. He's a music head. His vinyl collection is insane. Always staying hip on shit. And I'm always talking about shows, music, and everything. And before, I was like, yo, you know what you got to do? Dog, you got to watch the show Wu-Tang. He was like, Ben, I've already seen every episode. I watched the documentary. He said, Ben, where do I go to get, he's like, he tried to listen to the albums, but he wasn't sure what, order. So I was like, okay, you can start with Inner, or you can start with Only Built, either one of those, you good to go. So I'm sure he's listening to everything now. He was like, I got to buy official merch, you know, and this is a 78, 79-year-old man, dog. Like, and he is like, no. And both of my uncles are heavy fiends, my Uncle Charles and my Uncle Ted, like heavy on this hoe. You know?
Dope.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the lasting legacy. Like, I mean, I when I learned about Wu-Tang, like, again, that was maybe early 2000s at that point, right? So I'm way late in the game, right? Being younger, not knowing much. But what you said was funny, Ben, about it being forever, because to me, like, Wu-Tang expanded beyond just like a group, right? It was an ideal, is, right? Still is, right? An idea. It's a way of living. It's a, you know, it's a joke for some people. It's you know, that, you know, Wu-Tang for the kids. It's like, you know, it's like this thing that keeps carrying on and evolving through the decades. And you know, regardless of what side of the fence you're on, that staying power is huge. So now, Elijah, to see you as part of that, because you're part of that legacy now, right? And then, you know, you're part of the Wu-Tang clan. Like, I think, do you realize that you're like the 66th member? Like,
I'm like 1,001. Like, I'm
for real, bro. They got a lot of cats.
Yeah. So I mean, I know you know, I'm sure you've heard it like over and over, but I just want that to be really take that in, right? Like, because, you know, and I think that's really cool that the staff and the team and everyone wants to take away something from this, right? I mean, obviously just the experience itself, but also something for your career, right? Something that could say, hey, this is when he shined, or he's shown the brightest, right? And this is how he works with other people and this and that. So, you know, with this episode, again, this was phenomenal, right? And this was something that, for me, I mentioned about seeing that stress. Like, it just made me think back to you as a person, right? Like, in real life, like, how are you managing that stress, right? Like, Divine was about to bust all blood vessels. Like, he was hanging on by a thread, right? So I'm like, when that's you in real life, whether it's through your acting or it's just family stuff, like, how are you handling stress?
I mean, that's a good question.
Are you day drinking? Like,
no. So my birthday's around the corner, hence why.
Hey,
you know.
Good.
But I've learned. I learned. This is gonna sound hokey, but I try to meditate as much as I can, because I struggled when I was younger. You know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of young Black men have struggled with anger. A lot of young Black people in general, like cis men, cis women, trans women, and, you know, Black people just in general. I struggle with anger, and so I would pop off in a lot of ways. So I had to, like, growing up, I had to, like, really figure out how to manage that, you know. And so a lot of that is meditation. A lot of that is just moving my body. A lot of that is, you know, breathing. A lot of that is, you know, reading, you know, and just, you know, being present as much as I can. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm trying to learn lines, and, you know, people know who are around me, they're like, okay, this is the point in time where we're not talking to Elijah, you know, because when he's just pacing in his room, talking to himself, we'll talk to him in 24 hours.
So you need your alone time. So you need your personal space.
Yeah, you need your personal space. But I think I also, like, with that episode, to go back to the episode, I think we were really trying to showcase the amount of all the things that were on Divine's plate, you know what I'm saying? And all the things that Divine had to deal with to make him react the way that he reacted, to make him do the things that he did. And Divine, in and of himself, I think, compared to it being a dramatization, is, I think, a little bit more, he managed his stress a little bit more than I showed. You know what I mean? I think, like, we really wanted to see him afraid. We wanted to see him at the end of his rope. We wanted to see him make a decision at the end of it, whether or not to continue on this journey or not. You know what I mean? So that way we can see what he is sacrificing to keep this group together. You know?
Yeah. That point of view was insane. Like, you mentioned it, like, it's like, it seems like certain decisions that should be easy are dragging, like, you know, it's a beleaguered decision, you know, convincing one person to do a song with one of the biggest artists in the world, convincing people to have a conversation, to read a contract in the middle of a house party, you know, trying to please all the quote unquote masters, if you will, the Matolas and the Geffens and all that other stuff. So it's just it was just very interesting to watch that. And I think even as an entry point for people, like just to see that and see how much, as you mentioned, Divine was really dealing with, right? And that dramatization or not, that's real life. And that's kind of like a microcosm of what you see a lot as, people dealing with artists who, and especially huge group artists like Conclave's artists, that I can't even imagine having to deal with.
Right. And I think to go back to, I think the big thing I think too is like, and I think I mentioned this is sacrifice. I think like the fact that like at the end of the day he chooses not to go to his daughter's birthday. And that, and even though in that episode that's just one birthday, how many more birthdays does he miss as we move along?
And you can see the question.
Right. How many more milestones does he miss? And Divine in and of himself is a wonderful father. I mean, I talked to his daughter, I talked to his son. Like, he is an absolute wonderful father. And he said something to me that I really I'm taking away with for the rest of my life. He said, when I pass, at my funeral, I want all my kids around at my funeral to look at me and see that this person took care of me, each individual father. He wants all his kids there. And that is his legacy. You know what I mean? How he treated his kids, how his kids are taken care of, how his kids are able to have their lives and be able to, prosper, moving forward. And I thought that's who he's working for. He's working for his family. He's working for his kids. He's working for his legacy. He's working for his name, in a lot of ways. Yeah.
Now, like, you gave kind of the surface answer right there when you was talking about stress, but you're in an industry, as we know, that is very high stress, very high stakes. It's cutthroat as hell. It can be all these different things. And like you said, this was your first big show. So for creatives, for people out there, like, what was something or how did you like learn to manage and deal with this industry that you're in now? Because now you're at a state where you're on Law and Order, you're getting these runs. I'm sure there's a lot of meetings, things happening behind the scenes.
Counselor Jericho.
Yeah, but before Counselor Jericho, before Divine, you were out here, hungry and working. So like, how do you manage that part of the business?
I think like you have to remind yourself constantly like why you got into it, and it has to be, it has to go past the money, it has to go past the fame, it has to go why you as a kid first decided to start acting, whether that be the acting teacher that pulled you aside, whether that be the TV show that you watched, the games that you used to play, the book that you read. You have to harken back to that, and that has to be that has to be the engine that kind of drives you forward. I think we kind of get caught up in the superficial things of this business, and that's a surefire way to not only corrupt you but to send you catering off in the wrong direction. So I tend to try to keep that as my North Star. Like, at the end of the day, I do this because I like to tell stories, and I do this because I've learned more about myself through the characters that I play, When I'm doing a play here in DC, and at the end of each play, I have a cathartic moment. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm playing Edmund and King Lear, and so I'm like, at the end, like the way that we have this blocked, it's like I'm covered in blood and I'm like bleeding out at the end of the stage. And so at the show, I go and I shower and I'm watching my character's blood kind of like come off me. And that's, for me, it's a very kind of cathartic moment. I'm looking at this person who I'm embodying for 2.5 hours literally get washed down into the drain. And that is strangely deeply spiritual, So the more that you can kind of tie it into that, the more that you can tie it into something greater than yourself, I think that will point you in the right direction. If it becomes materialistic, if it becomes about the awards, if it becomes about your followers, you're dead in the water. You're going to last maybe 4 or 5 years, because this industry is too,
it's too up and down. Yeah. And it's unpredictable.
It's too unpredictable. Yeah. And and there's too much out of your hands. You know what I mean? There's too much, and especially for creatives, we're looked as products. And that can be a very difficult thing to kind of wrap your mind around if you don't have something bigger than yourself. You know, I hope that answered your question. I hope that wasn't just like.
No, that was a great answer.
And
And also just very, very obviously as creatives, whatever space you're in, whether it's music, acting, like you get that a lot. Like as a product, you're when is the next album coming out? When's the next project coming out? You know, like it's a nonstop situation. It's like, well, I have to get into the zone, and there's steps that take me to get there, and then I have to be inspired, and so on and so forth. And they just want the bottom line. When's the next hit coming out? And then if you don't produce, or you do produce and it sucks, doesn't get where they want it to be, then you're on the ground, right? You're trash, and then they're moving on to the next. And it's very, as Benjamin said, cutthroat.
It's this our society is not conducive into creating art. You know, like needing to produce for the sake of producing in order to elicit some sort of like funds, in order to elicit some sort of monetary exchange is not conducive for art, because you have to be able to fail for art. You know what I mean? Like you have to be able to take a big risk and just, you know, fall flat on your face if you want to be an artist, you know? However, especially in this industry, we're like, if you fail, you're done. You know what I mean? If you do a bad audition, if you have a bad movie, if you you know what I mean? And you're somehow looked at as like a less than, you know? And so you have to kind of continue to remind yourself. You have to continue to invest in yourself. It has to be a meditation. It has to be a practice. It has to be a craft. It has to be like yoga. You know what I mean? Because the more that you try to make it into some sort of race, into some sort of competition, you're just, you know, you're going to be 35. I'm 35 now, but you're going to be like...
You're going to be burnt out too early.
Yeah, burnt out. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, indeed.
Well, I don't want to go back to that, because I want to know, what was the first thing that inspired you, that made you want to be a storyteller?
Yeah, I mean, Star Wars.
You know, it happens to the best of us.
Any particular, just Star Wars in general, or there's a certain story or something?
Well, no. I'm kidding. I'm not kidding, but my high school teacher is what made me into a storyteller. Like what's wonderful about the way that my upbringing is, I'm surrounded by artists. So my grandmother is a dance theater Harlem ballerina, and you know, my mother's a writer, and my father was living in San Francisco, so I was surrounded by these like jazz artists and, you know, these hippies and all this. So art had always been around, had kind of been around me. But it was actually my high school teacher who would be my advocate. So when I was in high school, I was one of those kids who I was struggling. I was always suspended. I had terrible grades. I played lacrosse, but I was like third string, and, you know, I kept getting beat up by the team. So my high school theater teacher, she would advocate for me when I went to the principal's office. She gave me something to do after school. She was the first person who said, "You have something to offer this world. You have a talent. You're special." You know what I mean? She's the first one who gave me a responsibility. She gave me a big role, you know, to play. And that inspired me to kind of move forward, to kind of chase this business. You know what I mean? She was like, maybe you should go to school and learn theater, when I was like, I didn't know what to do in school. You know what I mean? And so I really equate her to being the person that kind of inspired me to try to be a storyteller. You know? Yeah. That and Lando Calrissian, you know, being the only brother in space. I was like, I won't be him.
And he had a cape. Come on. And the hair. Like, yeah, like, you know, let's not forget the cape.
Yeah. I wonder if your teacher knows about this, like how you feel, right?
Well, she passed I think in early 2010s. So yeah, so a lot of what I do, I mention her and try to. Sally Livingston was her name.
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
that really
it's
is
beautiful.
Yeah.
So we gotta ask. You know, we're gonna ask you. So you gonna be in the next MCU film? Like, what's going on?
I mean, I got to get an audition. I keep posting Silver Surfer thing on my Twitter, being like, yo, he could be a brother.
You want to be Norman Rad? Who you trying to be?
I don't know if we on the same page or what. Yeah, but I've been thinking that since we met, dog. I've been like, envisioning, because if you let me step back so you can see, Galactus behind me right here, like
biggest Galactus in the world.
Yeah, my obsession is crazy with the character and everything. But since we met, I'm like, yo, he got that persona, you could do that calm, cool, Norrin Rad, like, you shave the head, like you say, boom, bam, you good. I got this animated picture of Norrin Rad where he looked black already anyway. He like Lex Luthor. So I'm like, come on, let's go for it. Like, let's push it.
You're just saying that because my head is kind of pointy and his head is kind of
I mean, look, fam, you got to lean into the things that work.
Lean into No, honestly, if you want it, Elijah, just put it in the universe, because at this point, 90% of Hollywood has been like their eye has been in, a piece of their hair or something's been in MCU. You can be in the MCU, okay? You're going to be in it, whatever you want to be. But MCU aside, like, are there any like particular projects you want to get into or any genres you want to try to jump into, whether it be sci-fi? I mean, we mentioned Star Wars. Do you want to go in any directions right now?
Yeah, I think I grew up on sci-fi and genre, and so like that, and the fact that like if I can get in a movie or a TV show that both my brother and my father in particular are sitting there like geeking out. So I remember distinctly we watched Into the Spider-Verse, and I watched my father, who's Afro-Latino, watch this little Afro-Latino boy swing around, and there were just tears in his eyes. And I'm like, if I can make my father cry because I'm swinging around in a cape, then that'd be my goal. But personally, I think like projects that I really admire. Actually, I really admire artists like Ben Stiller. So my hope and my dream is to be able to actually get behind the camera and start directing, start doing cinematography, start being a little bit more part of the architecture of the script. I got a friend of mine who, her name is Kira Jones, and she's a writer, and I've talked to her about her process of becoming a showrunner, and seeing her ability to like just control the story and control the narrative, I think is very, very powerful, especially for people that look like us, So that's like kind of my ultimate. That's what I'm manifesting, I think. Yeah.
All right. We love to hear it and love to see it. And also I know I've caught you on off-Broadway production up here in New York, and you said you're doing King Lear. So you do a lot of theater as well. So what other projects do you have coming up? Anything that you can talk about? I mean, I know certain things you can't say, but what is going on?
Yeah, so I'm back in New York doing another off-Broadway play. It's called This Land Was Made, written by Tori Sampson.
We in there.
Yes, yes. It's at the Vineyard, which is a wonderful, wonderful theater in Chelsea. The play is written. It's set in the 1960s, around the time that Huey P. Newton and got the altercation with Officer Fry and his subsequent trial, and it follows this family kind of dealing with the aftermath. And I'm playing.
Talking my language. Who you playing?
I'm playing Huey.
Whoa, shit!
Yeah. So it's a play that we've been working on for like the past 10 years, and so Tori's fantastic, and I'm really, really thankful and blessed that she asked me to kind of join her on this next stage of its evolution. So yeah,
when does that open?
That opens May 16th and runs until June 25th. Yes.
Yeah,
so come through. I'm gonna get you discounts.
Thank you.
He didn't say he gonna get us in free. He said he gonna get us discounts.
He said, "Well, we got bills to pay." He said, "It's off Broadway, relax."
Yeah, this is off Broadway.
No, I get that. No, that's fantastic, and I love to hear that it's something that y'all been working on for like a long time. So this is something that you have like DNA in, understand? So I love to hear that. That's what's up.
Yeah. And all I've literally done is just read the words. Like Tori, it's all Tori's writing, and she's one of these fantastic playwrights. So I hope you get to see more and more of her work as we kind of continue. Yeah.
Dope.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you have survived the interview segment, but it's been a minute since we had you here, so we got to bring you back for the BRAP segment. Our rapid fire questions.
Yeah, so that's why I was drinking.
Perfect. All right. So let's start off with Luke Cage or Black Panther.
Oh wow. Black Panther.
Okay.
Black Panther. He's our Superman. You know what I mean? Like he's and like Luke Cage, like recently in the comics, he's kind of fallen off. So we'll say Black Panther.
It's been a minute since I've read a Luke Cage comic. I can't lie.
All I'm gonna say is we had T'Challa in Secret Wars with the Infinity Gauntlet, fucking up God Emperor Doom, and so like that. From that's my boy.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know where Luke Cage was in Secret Wars. Sad to say, but I know where T'Challa was. Boy.
You don't know what none of these other niggas was. I get you. All right. Magneto or Professor X?
Magneto, all day.
Not even a question.
Not even a question. Right. I'll be part of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants any day.
He said it's more exciting.
No, more excited. I'm like, yo,
you did X-Men this week?
No, this man is playing.
But y'all conforming mother. Y'all let's be good with the human. They trying to kill you. No,
this man is playing Huey P. Newton right now, dog. You think he gonna go with Professor X? I don't think so. All right.
Huey P. Norton. Damn.
No, Huey P. Newton.
No, Huey P. Norton, man. That's a mix of the two right there.
All right. Liquid swords or only built for Cuban links?
Only built for Cuban links. Quick, but that was my first Wu-Tang. That was my first Wu-Tang album. But I do think that like only built for Cuban links is cohesively just solid. You know what I mean? Like it's just like solid.
It's perfection. It is. Yeah.
All right. Superman or Batman?
Superman, because Batman's a fascist.
Shit.
And that's why you that nigga. Very good.
This is why we know that Elijah's been listening to ForAllNerds for quite a minute now.
Yes, you've been listening to the rhetoric. Excellent job.
Somebody just hit me on Twitter the other day, and they were like, when you was talking about John Wick, I understood because when you were talking about Batman, that shit caught me off guard, and I was kind of upset, and so I listened to you.
We always upset people until they listen. They're like, oh, that actually makes sense. All right, good job.
Read Kingdom Come. He literally puts Gotham City in a police state.
Wow.
Pretty much.
He's a fascist.
I hear no lies.
I am mad at you. I am mad at y'all saying John Wick is a villain. I might agree.
I didn't say that. Ben Amin said that.
I saw you on Twitter. I was like, man, do I need to block Ben Amin?
Look, now you could have joined in and roasted me because everyone else did.
Right now, is he completely wrong? No. Was it delivered in a poor way?
Yes.
Was he out of line? But he's not exactly wrong. So.
No. Yeah. No. Yeah. Oh, no. Next one, we need to add John Wick into this, but Michael Myers, Freddy, or Jason.
He's not a...
Look, he is Michael Myers. Like,
his name
Jason.
is the Baba Yaga.
He's Jason. They killed Jason's mom, and then he comes after them over and over again. They killed his dog.
So the Baba Yaga, Mike Myers, Freddy, or Jason.
And which one would you rather have? Look.
Sadly, would you rather have kill you?
I'd rather deal with Jason than John Wick. John Wick got range.
Yeah, no, I ain't fucking John Wick. I got a question. I'm not trying to dodge that question.
No, go ahead.
I got a question. I asked my friend this. Sorry, I gotta charge my stuff. But I asked my friend this. I said, Batman or John Wick, no prep time.
Like versus each other?
Versus each other. Who you got?
Well, John Wick got so goddamn plot armor. I mean, he'll never die.
But so does Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said. No prep time.
But my thing is, Batman, the joke and the ongoing theme with Batman is he needs the prep time, right? So if you're saying no prep time, then the nigga's not gonna win. He's not gonna win. Everyone loves saying Batman with prep time. Nigga, he's not going to have prep time. If you have, and maybe not John Wick, but if you have some otherworldly being coming at you, you're not gonna have prep time, my guy.
No.
Period.
But thing is, he's supposed to be, he's like Cyclops, where he's prepped for everything years in advance. You know, it don't matter what happens. He's got it. He's thought about it already.
John Wick doesn't have superpowers, allegedly. He doesn't have superpowers, right? He just knows gun fu and the rest of all that shit, right? So he's just a person at the end of the day, and he does get hurt, and he does die, right? He can die. Batman got the Lazarus pit, technically, so...
Right.
I'm taking Wick. Wick putting him hot when... Look, he like especially no prep time. He catching Bruce Wayne by blah blah blah. It's over. You know what I mean?
I mean, my only point, John Wick is a human being at the end of the day, right? Yeah, technically so is Batman, but he got some otherworldly shit, you know.
I'm taking
Ra's al Ghul shit going on.
So look, this man would be falling out of buildings and getting up and running off like no problem. Like no, come on, bro. I'm taking this. Like I said, and if the only one I wouldn't, Jason is the only one out of these monsters of Michael Myers, Freddy, or Jason. It would definitely be. Because John Wick is murdering, Michael Myers and Jason. Yeah. No problem. Yeah. He's serving them suckers.
No.
Yeah.
The answer,
I don't even know that nigga sleep. So Freddy might not get him either. Because the nigga, is always up bodying people. Like, come on. No,
he don't sleep. He don't eat. That's the two things he don't do. He don't sleep. He don't eat, and he don't get on a plane. Those three things.
Well, no. See, if John Wick don't get on a plane, then I'm good on him too. Because I'll fly away on his ass. Just like I would on Jason or Michael Myers. I'm flying away on them niggas.
That question is not getting answered. I can this is not.
When the John would be on planes, he'd be all over the world. How'd he get there? Wait, does he not get on planes? Is this part of something I'm missing?
We have never
seen him on a plane, but also how does he get from point A to point B?
I mean, teleport.
Listen, he'd be in Japan and then he'd be in Paris, literally in 6 hours.
In like the same day. You ain't never lying, yeah.
I don't know. And also, like, if he ain't getting on the plane, what are they just waiting for him to get out of the airport for them to start fucking him up?
Could you imagine they're standing there with a sign? John Wick. Look at her. Dang.
He's like, God damn it. I thought it'd be the limo driver.
He had the cinnamon bun. Like, just...
This is absolutely ridiculous. Okay. Let me ask the question that you're going to answer.
Okay.
All right. Red Man or Method Man?
Oh, Method Man. Mm-hmm. Method Man. Because Method Man's got the catalog, Like he's got hits, and bars for days. Yeah. Method Man. I stick by my answer.
Look at Ben. There you go.
I mean, I'm a Red Man fan first, but as far as hits, and that was something I wanted to bring up about the show too, because I loved how y'all did that with ODB, but the story I heard back in the day is that they had to super convince Method, like give him all kind of money for him to do the Mary J. Blige remix, which became the biggest hit of all time, and it was a struggle to get that man to do it, from what I understood. Like they, I can't remember what it was, like a Benz they gave him or some dumb shit.
Wow.
I don't know that. I don't know that story with the Method Man one. I don't know that story, but I do know the ODB thing is. Yeah, it was like, dude, if you don't fucking do this thing,
yeah,
fucking Mariah Carey.
So that was for real. That was
for real.
I mean, I can understand like when you're just not from that lifestyle, and then someone's telling you come do this, you're just like, this doesn't make sense to you, right? Like it's like speaking a foreign language. So okay,
because like Method didn't want to be the sex symbol, so he didn't like the original. All I Need is gutter. The beat is super gutter. It don't have no chorus like that. It's none of that bounce. And then they're like, let's puffy it up, and he was like, nah, but it's one of the greatest songs ever made. So thanks, Puff.
Yeah, well, it's also, and I'm just pontificating right now, but it's also like, I think you were saying this, but it really is like they really in two different camps. There was like the pop hip hop, and then there was like the underground hip, the what Wu-Tang was doing. And so for Meth to do that, it's like him all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, we are going to start becoming more pop. We are going to start catering to different people. You know what I mean? So it is kind of against their, their manifestos,
Yeah.
So
And it's like, I think, because I saw this and somebody was talking about this the other day, and it's hard for people of like this era to understand it because everyone sells out now. It's not even considered selling out. It's like what you should do. You got to build your brand. But that's not how people looked at it back then, like especially when Wu-Tang started, they were like, we are doing this grimy underground shit and this is what we're doing. It's like how Griselda is now. And I'm always mad at Griselda, like, why can't y'all do some, commercial shit? But Griselda just stays doing Griselda shit, and I respect it at the same time. And that's how Wu was at first. They were like, no, fuck that. And it was a different era where like now Griselda, they're rich, because they built a brand off of being underground. But Wu was not rich because you couldn't build a brand off of being underground back then.
No, you couldn't. You needed to.
You had to go pop, and they were like, "Fuck that, we'll just be, semi broke or whatever." Like,
fuck that. Fuck that. I'm gonna keep eating that Shake Shack.
Yeah, I mean, they were. Yeah, when I remember hearing that story, and then it's like, this fucking song is one of the greatest songs ever made, and it's like, you didn't want to do this, or you didn't want to do the fantasy remix, like. I play that shit at every wedding now. Like, Jesus.
Yeah.
Stop running from your blessings, right? All right. If you could have any one superpower, what would it be?
Anyone's superpower. Whatever John Wick got.
Plot armor. Good writing.
Give me plot armor.
That's
what you want is you want me by your side, okay? So any writing room, any show you're on, I'm gonna walk up in that writing room and go, actually, this character can't die because, and we're gonna have some convoluted reason that we're gonna write into the script every freaking time. Okay, don't worry, I got you.
It's like
I got something for you.
Exactly. Whatever writing room is writing my life, I just want them to be like, you know what? He just that plane ain't gonna crash. It's just gonna.
What's gonna crash? But he jumped out, right? He got that last parachute. Like, don't worry about it. We got you.
Yeah.
All right. And speaking of, dying, what character death hurts you the most in any medium? Comics, film, TV?
Oh, I think Aerith in Final Fantasy VII was fucked. That shit was fucked. Oh man!
And you can see it in HD or 8K.
I know.
Every time they remake it, they just make it better quality to see the death. So
I know.
Wonderful.
I'm playing through the remake right now because I was like, this year I was like, I'm gonna play a game until I beat it. So I'm playing through the remake, and I'm like, Aerith is so damn spunky and just cute, and I'm like, you're gonna get stabbed through your back.
You know what? Damn it! Wait, Aerith is though. I think you spoiled that for me because that shit ain't happened in the first part of the remake. That shit happened later on.
You ain't know that, man.
No, I finished the remake. I finished the first part, but that's still the first part. That like she's still alive at the end of that shit.
Yeah, but you ain't played
not for long.
You ain't played the game.
No, because there's still more to it. The second part comes out later this year, I think.
You didn't play the original game.
No, I didn't play the original Final. That was my first time playing.
Bad.
Yeah,
as soon as he said it, I knew he was talking about. So
yeah, that was my first time playing Final. And damn it, I love Aerith too.
Head, so.
I fucking love her, dog. Like I fucking love that woman. Yeah, she be floating around, casting spells and shit. Like all she get Jesus Christ in the back.
I love this. That should be our new show. Just spoiling things for people in 2023. That
like
happened
20
years ago. And the shock and disgust on people's faces. No, that
in
was
the back.
Elijah.
Like, goddamn.
Yeah, bro, it's pretty bad.
They better change that shit.
Ben, I mean, look like I just told him Santa Claus don't exist.
Because I had to think about it. I was like, wait a minute, because it's been like a year since I played the remake, and I was like, wait, Aerith, that's
Ben, it's one of the greatest tragedies in gamedom. Like,
they better change that shit. Cause they changed shit already. Like, that's the thing of the remake.
So that's the one thing they can't change.
God damn it.
Aerith has got to die.
What do they say in the timeline? The Marvel time, that's an immutable. That's just one thing you cannot change. It's a nexus point. It's a nexus point. You can't change that.
Like, cause I don't give a
Sorry.
shit about Cloud. Like, I don't care about him, but all the women around him, I love to death. Like,
No one does. No one
I don't
does,
care about
Seth.
Cloud. I don't care about that. The black dude. I can't even remember.
You don't
his
care
damn
about
name.
Sephiroth? You don't care about Sephiroth?
I don't really give a shit about
That
Sephiroth.
nigga go hard.
They're like Cloud and Sephiroth are like what's his name? Cowboy Bebop, or like Spike and
Spike and his brother Vicious.
Yeah.
Spike and Vicious,
And in the same way, I barely give a shit about them either. I love all the people around them. You know, it's like Spike and Vicious, who cares? But the rest of your crew, nothing can happen to y'all. You know, like, and so that's the same way I feel about Cloud and Sephiroth. Like, whatever. But all your homegirls, no.
They gotta stay.
Fuck.
Yeah,
But Tifa, ain't that's the other girl, right? Tifa. What's up?
Tifa's okay.
Tifa's okay.
Tifa makes it out.
That's the boxing girl, right? That's the girl with the hands, right? I mean, I just love her.
The girl with the hands, yes.
I love her because she put them hands on.
She's the girl with the hands,
How can you not love Tifa, boy?
But Tifa be punching. Tifa be punching like mechs. Tifa be punching like Gundams and shit.
I love it. Tifa puts hands on anything, dog. I love it.
Then, I mean, you don't like Barrett? What about Barrett?
Oh, fuck
Your
out of here.
They fucked Barrett up. I had every time Barrett comes around, I have to put on the Japanese subtitle, the Japanese stuff, because they made him. I was like, bruh,
they made him ultra Negro.
It's very strange. It's always been strange to me.
Super Negro.
Oh my god!
Bruh, all right, I was like, my ancestors are watching me play this game,
crying.
Right.
This is what you think of Elijah?
We died for this. Oh. Like I said, I'd never played that shit before, so I had no idea. And I walked into the game and I was like, y'all let this slide all these.
Yeah. Listen, it's a classic, Ben. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a classic.
Is it though? Like,
it is. Let it go. I also think this is a classic interview, Elijah. You have survived the BRAP segment, which means you have survived For All Nerds. We appreciate you. You know we love you. You know we fuck with you. I know Ben sees you every other day anyway, but you're fan forever, just like Wu-Tang. Can you let the people know where they could find you and when they just watch the finale and all that other stuff you want to plug?
Yeah, so our finale is this Wednesday, which y'all dropping this week. It'll be our last episode. Tears. You can find me on my Instagram page, Julian Elijah Martinez. You can find me on Twitter until Elon takes away my verification. At Julian Elijah, and then if he takes one of my verifications, I might delete this shit. I don't know. So
don't worry, he'll implode the site before that happens. So okay, just go down with the shit with us. That's all. Just hang in there. It's gonna go down on its own. Don't worry. Blue check and all. Yes, but no, thank you so much. You, of course, a pleasure as always. And then yes, we're gonna be at your show for sure. The new off-Broadway play, and we just make sure you keep in touch with us. Let us know what's going on, and we salute you always.
Yeah, thanks. I always got love for y'all. So whenever y'all want me, even when I'm unemployed, bring me on. We'll just talk about. We'll just spoil shit for Ben on me. You know, Darth Vader is Luke's father, right?
Oh man. All right, y'all. And with that, we'll be back with more For All Nerds.
This is Yvonne Chapman. I play Jalan on Kung Fu's CW. When I'm not on set, I am listening to For All Nerds.
This is Niambi. When I'm not busy doing the acting thing, the writing, drawing, illustrating, I'm listening to For All Nerds.
This is Shannon Houston, writer on HBO's Lovecraft Country, and you are listening to For All Nerds.
This is Malcolm Spellman, head writer of Falcon and Winter Soldier. You are listening to For All Nerds.
It's Ihoma, writer for Lovecraft Country. When I am not creating, I am listening to For All Nerds.
My name is Damon Lindelof. I'm one of the writers of Watchmen, The Leftovers, Lost. And when I am not sheltering in place, washing my hands, and sheltering from squids, I am listening to For All Nerds.
This is Kate Herron. I'm the director of Loki, and you are listening to For All Nerds.
thank you so much to Julian Elijah Martinez for joining us for that incredible interview. Make sure you check out Wu-Tang and American Saga now on Hulu. It is one of my favorite shows of the last few years. I am so verklempt.
That's a great word, but I don't know the rest of the sentence.
I'm in a state of disarray. You know, I'm in a glass cage of emotion right now because Wu-Tang and American Saga is ending. It has been one of my favorite shows of the last few years, and I just don't feel like there's anything else like it on TV, and you know, so it's hard to replace. But thank you to Julian, thank you to the cast and crew, thank you to everyone. You have done an incredible job on that. I want everyone, if you haven't seen it, go out and watch it. All 3 seasons are now on Hulu. Fantastic show. 3 seasons, tells a complete story. If you don't know about the Wu-Tang, you'll learn so much. Even if you do, like myself, you'll learn so much and you'll be entertained. Full of great young black actors, you know, like Julian was talking about. It's rare you see all these young black men at this stage in their career, all these dudes who are going to pop off because they're all incredible actors. So many incredible actors on that show. So please go peep it.
Facts.
And you thought we was done? You thought we was finished? No, because they have been hitting us over the head. This is Marvel versus Wu-Tang versus DC. And we got one more from Marvel, from the Sony side of things. The Across the Spider-Verse trailer to, look, I'm just going to say this before we even watch this shit. Look,
cheers.
I've been said that Puss in Boots, The Last Wish is one of my favorite films of the year. I already know that this hoe is going in my top 5.
Absolutely.
End of story. All right, let's see this hoe again.
What's up, danger?
My name is Miles Morales. I'm Brooklyn's one and only Spider-Man. And things are going great.
Oh yeah, you were supposed to be here at 5.
All right, whatever.
Whatever?
Wow.
Whatever?
So are you like a cow or a Dalmatian?
I am the Spot. That's not funny.
Don't do that.
Miles's grades are pretty good. A in AP Physics.
That's my little man.
And a B in Spanish.
What?
Ooh, okay.
Miles.
Are you trying
Mira,
to
eso es
kill
imposible.
I gotta go. All right, bye.
He's lying to you. And I think you know it.
What's up, danger?
Miles! Want to get out of here?
Oh, when? So wait a minute. There's an elite crew with all the best spider people in it?
Who's the new guy?
This is unbelievable.
This is the lobby.
Miguel O'Hara. The whole thing was his idea.
What's a guy gotta do to join this spider team?
You can never be part of this.
Don't even get me started on Doctor Strange and the little nerd back on Earth 1999.
Come on, go easy on the kid. He had a terrible teacher.
Peter.
Miles!
Mayday. You have a baby?
I have a baby.
I'll take it from here. Miles, being Spider-Man is a sacrifice. You have a choice between saving one person and saving every world.
Send me home.
I can't do that.
I can do both! Spider-Man always...
Not always.
What about Uncle Ben?
If not for Uncle Ben, most of us wouldn't be here.
Can't stop me now!
You can't run forever, kid!
I can't lose one more friend.
Miguel, this isn't what we talked about!
You knew?
I have no idea what you're doing!
Everyone keeps telling me how my story is supposed to go. Nah. I'm gonna do my own thing.
All stations, stop Spider-Man.
You? Me?
And then I looked at my uncle and...
Let me guess. He died?
The Spider Society. Listen. That shit is beautiful. Like, that's all I kept saying every time I watch it. This is like the 5th time I watched this today.
Yeah.
Beautiful. beautiful. Huge fan of the first Spider-Verse. Obviously, if you play the PS5 game, you even deeper. It's just the levels of deep that go into the story of Miles Morales, and it's like so much energy and emotion behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even know I could like fully capture in words what I experienced when I watched this, because like, you ever watch something like you're so into it, your mouth's just halfway open? That's how I felt like it. Like, I realized that I was kind of slack-jawed because I was just like, yo, I'm into this. Like, you back in the story, you back with Miles, back with Gwen, Peter, you see new people, like the animation, like I didn't know they could top the animation of the first one. And this is just a trailer, son. And this is not even, and it's not even like the final look. That's the other part people don't realize. Like, a lot of times the trailer is not the final look. There's still more shit they adding on. There's still more layers they're adding on. There's still more generated things that, generative things they have to put on it. Like, for it to look like that. And that's what bugs me out so much about it, the way it looks. I love animation. I love animation. To see it like this.
Like I say, I remember, I'll never forget going into the first one, and me and Beans, shout out to my brother Beans, he was standing outside and he was like, yo, this thing might be better. He'd already seen it. He was like, this might be better than Black Panther. And I was like, this nigga out of his goddamn mind. And then, we sat there and watched the film, and I was like, oh, it's tough.
That shit grabs you. It grips you.
It's tough. It's to this day one of my favorite films of all time. And then I'd never seen anything that even came close to it until I saw Puss in Boots like last week. And that's when I was like, yo, people are, they're learning the lessons of Spider-Verse and doing all these different animation styles and messing with the speed, the frame rate of shots, having different frame rates in the same shot and doing all these different tricks in a big budget scale film. I'm sure these tricks have been done in smaller films, but in films of this size, I hadn't seen it until Spider-Verse. And then I heard the creatives all like, yo, everything we did on Spider-Verse, we already know we got a top. And in this trailer, like you said, you already seen it. That shot of Gwen, the way she glows and the lighting and
when she's putting her head. Oh,
and then the shot of Digi, I think she's Digi Spider, the young black girl with the digital effects over her.
We were trying to figure out who she was.
Yeah, and someone on Twitter said something about Digi. I don't know that character at all. We see Spider-Punk. We see Scarlet Spider, Ben O'Reilly, who is Peter Parker's clone. We see so many references to the comic books and animation. And there's so much stuff that we haven't even seen. Like, they talk about the Japanese Spider-Man is to be in here. We might see the giant Japanese Spider-Man robot.
Oh, the mech. Oh,
yeah.
shit.
There's the real one, the real rumor that's out there, right? They say they're going to 5 different worlds, 5 different, or 6 different, or 7. I can't remember how many, but they've revealed most of them. We're going to go to the Spider-Verse where the Spider-Man of India is. So we're going to get that Indian style. And like, each of these verses are going to have their own different style of animation. We're going to the Brit Punk, where that's where Spider-Punk comes from, British. And he's a black dude under that. Love him. Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099 from the future. So we're going to go to the future. I think we're going to Gwen's world. And then one of the worlds, they're like the super secret world. And so the rumor and the guess is that's going to be the live action world. And we might see Miles in live action. Because they've said this is the super secret, and what could be more secret than doing live action? You already got animation. Like, what other style would be?
Every animation style, no.
Yeah, so what other style could be other than live action?
I would lose my mind
if
he steps out a portal and becomes live action.
Niggas, like, can you imagine? And they keep that shit secret till we in the theater?
That whole place going up. Like,
I mean, that's the thing. Like you said, because we're gonna be back in this world. Like, the emotion, like the first one was so beautiful and everything, but the fucking emotion of that story. Yeah, it always goes back to the writing. And the writing of that story, there's so many moments where I'm like wanting to cry or wanting to jump out of my seat and cheer every time I see it. And then you get into this animation that is just beyond everything.
And it's skillfully supported by an incredible soundtrack.
And an incredible voice. Yeah, because I'm already, what's up, Danger? Like, I'm like, ooh,
Yeah.
that's my shit now.
Like even when there was a scene where it happened real quick where he was flipping through like, between bills and stuff, and I saw the word flower appear, right? And I'm
Yep.
just like, oh my God, even the callbacks to itself, like it's just man.
And then the other thing that the creators have already talked about is they said this is their Empire Strikes Back. This is the second in the trilogy, and this is going to end like Empire Strikes Back in a very dark place, because the Spot, you see him in this trailer, he seems like a joke, but by the end of this film, he's going to be a very either powerful or destructive villain, because he's going to continue on into the third Spider-Verse film.
Yeah. Well, as clownery as they're making him seem, like that power, that's your
It's
fucking
insane.
portal.
Yeah.
That's scary. That's powerful as fuck.
Powerful
and,
as fuck.
if you're not fucking around, you can really fuck shit up with that type of power. So
Yes. And he's going to fuck shit up with that type of power.
Yeah.
So
portal power, fuck out of here, man.
yeah, and it's funny because in the comics, pretty much he's always been taken as a joke. But they were like, let's take this character and connect them, because you got portals to different verses, boom, boom, boom.
Mm-hmm.
Connect them into the whole Spider-Verse, and now he might be terrifying by the end of this film.
Yeah, I'm just freaking excited. I think I'm even more excited for like the surprises, like what you're saying,
Yes.
that may happen. And
Yeah.
I mean, I'm excited just to see it. Shout out to Frank Abney and the team that have been working on the trailer and have been working on this project in general. But like, I'm just happy that we're finally gonna get to see,
To
at
be
least
back in the world, man.
we're getting just to be there. Yes, man. I mean,
Yeah.
just to be there and just be back in it, and then to like really sit here and talk to y'all. Speculate all day, but it's like it's a joyful speculation.
Yes.
Like it's fun. And again, Afro-Latino people of color.
I mean, just so black. And then they're even doing a storyline that I love, like from the comics, not from Spider-Man, from Miles in particular, but there's a comic back when I was growing up called Power Pack, and it was about these kids who had powers and their parents didn't know, and they were kids. So they were constantly trying to sneak out of their house and shit to go be superheroes and hide the shit from their parents. And it was such an ill comic, especially for me as a kid, because it was like, you got the secret you can't tell the people you trust the most. And so to have that in the trailer when the woman's like, he's lying to you.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, like
That actually reminds me of something that, shout out to Fantastic Frankie, that she had recently posted about how a lot, like, you're actually starting to see this, particularly with characters of color, how stuff like this, they can't keep secrets, right? Like, a lot of time inherently in families like ours, like, your parents is gonna find you. Your parents is not leaving you to your own devices a lot of times. You're like, what the fuck are you doing? Especially if you live in a large household, especially live in a household of color. Like, people's in your business. You
All
got
the
siblings.
time.
People's always in your business. And every time you think you too slick and you got away, somebody gonna find out, right? And they may keep it secret for a while. They be like, nah, nigga, I knew you was out there swinging around, out there doing crime fighting and shit. So it's just interesting to see that dynamic as well, right? So I'm completely excited, completely happy for this.
Because as of now, his parents don't know, right? Neither
As
of
of
his parents know.
now, and according to the trailer, I mean, they're gonna find out.
I mean, his
potentially,
dad's
but-
a cop, though. Like he gonna figure that shit out.
right, but also, it's like, I don't want to say
He gonna figure it out.
I don't want to say they're underestimating him, but it's also like you're like, out of anything to believe, you think, oh, my kid got, what they say, it's easier to hide things in plain sight. Yeah, this is a world where there are other superheroes and stuff, but they're not gonna think, oh, my kid is the one. So
He gonna be the one to figure out, and he ain't gonna tell the mom at first. That's what it's gonna happen.
right, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And you saw that scene where it looked like he was hanging off of a ledge.
Oh
and
no!
he fell down. and-
Y'all rewind and watch my face for the first.
I saw
few
your
times
face.
First few times
You
I
was
saw
like,
the
"Oh,
trailer,
no."
I didn't catch that shot because I was always
Yeah.
focused on Digi Girl and that whole sequence of the Spot running and Miguel running. That sequence is so ill to me that I didn't catch that shot of
Dad falling.
Papa. Yeah, that I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah,
I wasn't
so-
ready.
Yeah, if this shit like blends into live action and you see like Tom Holland or some shit like that.
I mean, but no,
and
if
then
it's
some other
if it's
shit.
Miles in live
No, I
action for the
know,
first
but
time. What if
the
Tom's in there too?
interaction with Tom
I'll
and
lose my-
Zendaya.
I'm not even ready for all that. That's too much. That's too much. That's asking for too much. I just need Miles. So that would be like I start throwing shit at the screen. You know what I mean?
What about Venom? Because you remember in the first Spider-Verse, I think it was the after credit scenes and mid credit scenes, that's when they connected it to the Venom. I don't want to call it the Venom verse, but they connected it to the live action Venom. Like, it's when he was on vacation in Hawaii or some shit, and that's when they saw that a piece of the symbiote was left behind. So,
but that's still got to do with Tom, and that's still that shit was still like, hopefully this happens one day. You know, that symbiote left behind.
It was
that
just
was not like
we're just gonna leave this little back door open right here,
just in case we need to use Venom. At, 10 years in the future. Remember this? You know, like, and that was not like next movie's Venom.
All right, so it was just a quick back door. You think?
Yeah, just hopefully.
Okay.
Because they sent Venom back to the Tom Holland verse.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, and they sent the Tom Holland to the Tom Holland verse. But that is Sony.
Tom Holland verse.
No, that's what it's gonna be. It's to be the Tom Holland verse with occasional, interaction from the MCU. That's how it's gonna be now. Like, y'all wanted it, and this is what you're gonna get. So your best hope is that it interacts with Into the Spider-Verse, because otherwise Tom Holland's options are limited right now.
Yeah. I'm excited. I am hoping
No more Zendaya.
I'm hoping we get first dibs on early screenings. And of course,
will. Come on now.
Well, I hope we get first dibs on early screenings, and I hope that we're able to invite y'all to these screenings. Shout out to everyone who's been to. We had it just be coming to us like crazy sometimes. Like, we've been given a lot of passes to screenings lately, and we hope that continues. And we, like we said before, we hope that continues for other cities so we can help out the rest of the fam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is it for our Across the Spider-Verse review of the trailer. Can't wait for this joint. As you said, I mean, as we've been saying, we are super hyped. This looks like it's be one of my movies of the year. Ain't got to say much more. This is like my goddamn Avatar. I just want to get back into that world. You know what I mean? Bring me back into Pandora, in Harlem.
$8 million. 80. Wait, you said 800 million. What?
Ain't no way I'm going to Pandora for that
trillion, my nigga. But
no, that ain't even enough. Fuck out of here.
Actually, when you were talking about frame rates and stuff, I wanted to say no Avatar. So, yeah.
It works in animation. It does not work for me in live action.
Avatar's animation, technically.
No, but there are people in it. Like, I
know, but it's animated.
I need 24 frames per second if we are doing live action, folks. Look, my brain has been trained. I'm not going to get off it at this point.
What the fuck is this?
Look, I mean, that's all it's doing. My brain's been trained, fam. I'm not going to change
What
my
the whale say to him? What the whale say to him? It hurts too much to say it. Y'all, we love you so much. Thank you for listening. Make sure you are subscribed on your favorite podcast platform and or YouTube and on twitch.tv/ForAllNerds. Make sure you are following us on the socials at ForAllNerds. I'm at Tatiana King. He's at DJ Ben Hamid. I don't know how long Twitter's going to last, but hey, you can follow us on there and on the IGs and all that. On TikTok, we on TikTok. Make sure if you want to support us, you want to be part of the financial fam, make sure you hit up the Patreon, patreon.com/ForAllNerds. As always, you get special privileges and first dibs on a lot of things, including things like screening passes when you are a part of the Patreon. Also, you can go to ForAllNerds.com where you can get our fire merch. Ben, I mean, it's wearing one of the earliest fire new merches.
This shit is still, I mean, this is an all-time classic, dog. Like, I put it on earlier today and I was like, look at this
that
fucking
shit's wild classic. T'Challa, I know we got the exclusive colorways, and that's another thing. When we have live events, we got exclusive shit that comes out too. So like, you really got to be following us. You got to be in it to win it.
We coming with some exclusive colorways on For All Nerds too.
There we go.
Don't trip. Summertime's coming.
We recently released 2 amazing designs. Shout out to Sketch Sawyer. We have the Nope Akira crossover design featuring our girl. It's your girl, Kiki Palmer. We also have, what else just came out?
Lionel Richie by Latina Scribbles.
Yo, Latina fucking snapped on this. Shit goes hard. And the newest shit.
The newest shit.
Y'all not ready. Y'all not ready. And
maybe by the time you hear this, it might be up on the site. Maybe.
I don't know. Y'all not
definitely
ready.
By next week. It's coming.
Y'all not ready. But it don't stop. It don't stop. It keeps coming. Hit that up, yo. Like, anytime you support us, whether you buying our merch, whether you hitting us up on the Patreon, every tier is a good tier, by the way. So just please hit that up. But whenever you support us in that way, we get to do doper things. We get to make sure we have the dopest sound, the dopest exclusives.
The lights.
Lights. Right. Somebody getting fired. Every time I hear lights, that's what I hear. But for real, like, y'all help us be great. So please and thank you when it comes to supporting For All Nerds.
Thank you so much. Make sure you're following us as well on twitch.tv/ForAllNerds. I got my new setup in the studio, which was also afforded by the great people at patreon.com. So you'll be able to see me much more on there, DJing live. I think I'm going to start playing some of my music production live on there.
He's
just,
been working
talking.
on a lot.
Yeah, I've been working a lot. So I'm going to start playing beats and talking about them and stuff like that. Just doing more things on Twitch. So make sure you're following us over there. Twitch.tv/ForAllNerds and Twitch.tv/DJ Ben Amin if you just want to get direct to me. Also, coming up, goddamn, still haven't signed the paperwork, but we'll be in LA in May. First week of May. Guaranteed.
I think could we say now?
Yeah, fuck it. We're going to say it. We'll be in LA first week of May 2nd at UCLA for Geek Week. Shout out to Dr. Drea Lettermendy for recommending us and bringing us through. We are coming to the West Side.
I'm going back to Cali.
Strictly for the weather, women, the weed, nigga, please. All right, so we will be in LA and for the geeks, obviously. We coming out there for the geeks. Like, yeah, strictly for the geeks. We need to make that, yeah. So we coming out to LA May 2nd. Be there, UCLA. We'll let y'all know how we can get y'all some passes, things of that note. UCLA campus. We'll give you some more information if we get closer. May 2nd, we are coming to the West Side. Also, October 19th in Washington, D.C., we will be at the Smithsonian in the Oprah Winfrey Room at the National Museum.
If you're from the South.
The Black Smithsonian, because I never get the damn name right. But it's going to be major, y'all. It's going to be major. We're doing a panel on Afrofuturism to support the recent exhibit that opened on Afrofuturism in Washington, D.C. Swear to God, it's Howard Homecoming Week. It better be.
It is. No, it is. It's confirmed.
Oh, they announced?
The 21st, I believe, is the
weekend?
Is the homecoming game. So once they announce
my God!
So once they announced, they put out the football schedule last month. So once they put that out, I was like, okay.
Oh my God. It's going down, dog.
Norfolk,
y'all.
I
don't give a shit. We ain't never won a game, but we ain't never lost a party.
But we be winning now, Ben. I mean, we be winning now.
We win.
We've been winning all the fucking
I've never been to a homecoming where we won. Swear to God.
We've been winning recently a lot.
I've never been.
You know, we like top. We top right now. We top. We just won the MEAC in basketball.
Fam, when I came to Howard the year before the football team won the MEAC, the whole time I was at Howard, we never won shit.
Well, that happened to me too. We wasn't really winning stuff, but we on top now. You know we on top now.
Whole time.
The swim team, everybody.
The year before I got there, MEAC champs. No. After that, MEAC chumps.
Then 2023 Howard 2022 and 2023.
Yeah,
Howard
I know we've been
sports
running.
Have been going up. So.
Basketball, swim team. I know we running things.
Women's basketball, men's basketball, like everybody.
We up. You know what I mean? So thank you all for joining us. We got much more planned. We're definitely going to do a 10th anniversary show probably sometime this year in New York City, maybe some other places. Hopefully we can travel this summer a little more. But as you see, we got a couple of big things already planned. I plan to be at some more conventions this year. Still waiting on some real big announcements in the comic book world. This announcement of this graphic novel that I wrote with Mellow Marketer. Gonna be crazy. Probably by the end of the summer, I'm going to be doing some shows, DJing and stuff around the nation and the world. So, a lot coming, man, you know? Stick around. Thank you.
Love you. Peace.
Fan Bros, F-A-N-P-R-O-S.